Alright, I guess we're going to start the meeting.
Yep.
Thanks. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Right behind you, sorry.
Been a while.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we're going to call the meeting order. Start with visitors. Standing here, we got anybody that wants to speak prior to the actual people running for the board here. You have 3 minutes to say what you need to say, and if anybody has anything to say before we get to the actual people running.
I did have a typo on my letter. I just noticed that after I left here last time, I was a township supervisor for 4 years. It was not 6. I was elected for 2 and appointed for 2.
All right. You're going to get your chance to give your little speech here in a second.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to thank you. Put that out there.
Is there anybody else in public? Oh, Dean?
Dean Interpol, Canton, Borough. I would just ask the council, everyone voting today, to take a good look at the people who have put their name in and think about whether these people have got their name in there because they want to help the town, or do they have their name in there because they have an agenda against one specific item that happened or one specific person. You know, do they really want to help the town, or are they on an agenda? Thank you.
Walter Woods. Are we going to know who's running so that people can actually speak on who's running?
Yeah,
Or,
is everybody here that is running?
No, Sean Packard can't make it because he's working.
The other 4?
Yes.
They're here. I'm not sure who some people are running, so. Max?
Jim McDonald, Borough resident and business owner. I'd just like to say, talking to some of the candidates, myself, business-wise, we'd like to suggest that Deanna be chosen to fill the seat.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Someone wants to come here?
There's spots over there as well.
Over there.
All right, so that's.
Well, can we just take a minute and have the people that are running stand? Because maybe some.
Well, yeah.
We'll do that
We're going to go
during
through. Everybody's got. We're going to have a moment to speak.
So the public will be able to comment after we know who they are then?
No.
So
This is your chance to speak now.
yeah, but there's no way for people to speak on the candidates themselves, to give their input of their opinion
That's
of them,
what this is for right now.
but we don't know who they are.
Council's making council's going to be electing. That's the role of the council is to elect the individuals, and the public has elected these members on the board, who in turn have elected Mr. Holmes to be the vacancy chairman. So.
But the public
has had an input here, and the statute allows for the council members and Mr. Holmes to vote and potentially elect a candidate for the board position.
Is it illegal for the public to comment on specific candidates? Illegal?
No.
For public to comment on specific candidates?
Well, I'll tell you, here's how it works, sir.
Point of order, is this public comment or is this public questions?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, public comment is public questions. You don't have to answer that.
We typically don't respond to the comments.
But I'm just trying to say that the public might want to comment on specific candidates. They can't ever do that if you don't tell them
I think
who
Mr.
they are.
McDonald has done that. If anybody else wants to, that's certainly their right.
Yeah, this is what this portion is for, is if anybody wants to say something, this is your part. Then we're going to get to the actual people running.
Would it be all right just to announce the names?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
basically, I think, what he's asking for.
Here's what I got. I got David Assatinelli. I have Peter Ferrari. I have Sean Packard, who's not with us. Deanna Watkins. Here?
Yeah.
Okay. And Jamie Huffman?
There's Jamie, yeah.
And is one of the questions they'll be asked whether or not somebody has a criminal record?
That is none of my questions, no.
Can the board ask that question themselves, like the individual members?
That's not,
That's not how we're-
that doesn't eliminate someone from running.
Correct, but wouldn't it be good to know, like if somebody has a felony?
I think the way we're doing it is Mr. Holmes is going to ask questions. I think we're going to allow these people to have a presentation, the 5 people or 4 that are here. And then Mr. Holmes has a series of questions, and at that point, we would open up to
Right.
information.
I'm just trying to do my minutes of speaking, of saying I would like, and I think a lot of people would like to know if somebody has a felony, if they've lied to police officers, for instance, in the past, anything like that, that would come up on a criminal record. I mean, you don't want to be electing somebody that is maybe on probation or parole or.
I'm not privy to that information. In fact, I don't
Well,
know.
that would be
It doesn't
question.
stop anyone.
So,
No, it doesn't stop them from serving, but you're
No.
trying to make a determination if somebody should be on the board for the best interest of the community. So asking that question would probably be useful for the community.
sir, do you have a question?
Yeah. So, I think one of the points that Mr. Woods is trying to bring across is there was never a public release of who actually ran, so it's tough for us to. The only list that I've seen was created by Mr. Wood online, and so that was where I just hadn't seen anything, and
It was
so.
advertised just recently, because, right?
Well, not the list of who the
Oh.
people.
So we just don't have any idea. So what would be helpful is if they.
We have David Antonelli,
Yep.
Peter Ferreri, Sean Packer, Deanna Watkins, and Jamie Huffman. Now, 4 of the 5 are here, and they're gonna be able to stand up and give us a presentation.
Yeah, so just for the board's information, it's not. I don't think anybody's trying to cause any problems or issues. But if you don't know, it's hard to speak, and it's hard, like, if we don't have a little heads up to vet people, talk to people. You know what I mean? It's just a community side of it. I can't speak if if you know one of them, but if you don't have an idea who all ran. Now myself, listen, I love Pete. I have a lot of respect for Pete. But I think for me, I'm with Mac on, I really support Deanna in terms of, I think she's very level-headed. And I mean, just the little bit that I know, one of my employees had moved in next to them. And I'll be honest, I've never seen anybody treat their neighbors as well as Deanna, and just seeing how she interacts, especially with issues. She just seems to be, kind about it, straightforward. She has her own thought process. But she's not going to scream, be irate. She just seems to be very level-headed. So that I just wanted to bring that point across.
And this is your opportunity to give that speech as somebody you support. That's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So, anybody else? Because if not, we're going to start with the candidates and have them give a brief, who you are, what you bring to the table, why you're running, and what can you do to, what's your goals for the year. I don't know who wants to go first. You just want me to pick somebody?
The way I gave them to you in the letters was the way the letters were handed in. So it was David Atherton.
I already shook them all up.
I just went in the way the letters came in.
We'll start with David Atherton then.
Hey, Will, can I ask a question?
Oh, sorry.
I got 2 questions.
Yep.
Did I hear right, was that Jim McDonald that had support for Miss Watkins?
Yes.
And that's probably former current owner of the lounge, am I thinking of the right person?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Second question, is there anything, this is probably more for David, is there anything barring anybody from serving an elected role if they were ever convicted of anything?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay. Thank you.
Unless it's an infamous crime, and there's not a lot of definition for that. But yeah, that could be a problem.
Okay, thank you.
All right. It was on there. So. Dave, if you give us a quick brief, keep it short and sweet.
My name's Dave Atherton. I've been living back in the Borough for a little over a year. I'm a former township supervisor for Leroy Township. I served 4 years, 2 appointed, 2 elected. I have some real concerns for the town. The storefronts are empty. It seems like we have to have a permit for everything, and I just don't really like the way that things are headed, and I have some real concerns, and I know that the residents also have a lot of concerns. And I would like to help the people's voice be heard.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next is Peter Ferrari.
My name is Pete Ferrari. I live at 146 East 2nd Street. I moved into the borough back around 2020, 2021, somewhere in there. Currently the director of New Beginnings up in Leroy. And part of the reason I have attempting to join the borough council is to be part of the solution and not part of the problem. The organization that I work for, I'm trying very hard to get them incorporated in everything and anything involved in this town. We came to the Earth Day cleanup. There's a couple individuals here local that have reached out to us, recently lost their husbands, and we're trying our best to just be seen and help everybody in the community. I'm community minded. I just moved my family here. We're in the process of purchasing a house. That's at least a 15-year commitment to growing my family in this town. And so what does that mean? I plan on making it home, bringing my kids up, hopefully having my kids be the next legacy that comes up in this town. I have a 6-year-old and a 13-year-old, so that's kind of where it's at. I know the last time that we had this, there was a little bit of confrontation because I used to work for the mayor. I did want to clarify. I worked for the mayor 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago. As of April 20th, I worked for him for 6 months, part-time. It was a stepping stone. Just to kind of help Mr. Woods along, because I think it's very important to be transparent. And again, my goal is to help the community. I'm the felon he's referring to. I received a felony back in 2018. I also lied to the cops. What did it have to do with? Me and my little brother, younger brother, he's not so little, but had a dispute. He owed me money. I took his dirt bike, I sold it. I'm not a criminal, so I wrote a receipt for it. Obviously, they figured that out. When the cops came and questioned, were you the one that took the motorcycle? I said no. So those are the charges. I've done my time. I've made every effort to reconcile with my family and with those individuals that were involved. And I can tell you that I went through a divorce. I lost custody of my kids, was separated from my mother, and those relationships are restored. I'm remarried to my wife. We've been married for 2 years. Like I said, we're buying a house together. So the question was, what have you done to reform your life? I found Jesus Christ, accepted him as my Lord and Savior, and I'm moving forward with that. And I would love the opportunity to continue not only in this town, but to serve as one of the members of the borough council. Thank you.
Thank you for your honesty. Sean's not here to speak tonight. I think most people know Sean, right? He's been around here for most of his life. So. Deanna Watkins.
Deanna Watkins. I live on East Main Street. I've lived in Canton about 35-ish years. I work at the school, so I know a lot of people from the tax collector. Not everybody's favorite, but don't hold that part against me. I am just interested in borough council. I would like to see the town itself move forward. I would like to see some changes maybe that we need, but I would like to see the people represented for the things that they need and want for the town. That would include businesses and more things coming to our town. I think just letting the people be heard and being transparent in all things that happen. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And Jamie Huffman.
Hi, I'm Jamie Huffman. I've lived in Canton since the end of 2013. My husband's military. I'm a veteran. I live up on Troy Street, just past Rockwell's. Let's see, I currently substitute teach at the elementary school in town. I want to have a more vested role in our community instead of sitting and complaining on Facebook and just contributing to that kind of talk. I want to be invested. I want to be more passionate and show my different perspective on life, since I have lived all over the world. I'm not from here originally. My husband is, and I just want to be more involved and not sitting on the sidelines complaining. So.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So this will be the point where we're gonna.
Hold the names. You want to explain how you're gonna do it?
Yeah, so
Okay,
basically.
No questions then?
No.
You don't have it, all right.
No, we're gonna draw the names as randomly, and we vote as they come out.
No, after they all come out.
After
Do
they all
all
come
five. I'll write them down in order as you draw them. And then, once all five are drawn.
Then vote.
Then,
Okay.
right, see if there's a motion for the first one that was drawn after that, right. Go ahead.
Be confused.
You draw and I'll, you're fine. Draw the first one.
First one, Sean Packer.
Okay, draw the next one.
David Atherton-Neely. Deanna Watkins. Peter Ferrari. Jamie Hoffman.
So now you would look for a motion for the first one.
Sean Packer, do we have a motion? No. Second.
Is Mike able to listen?
Yeah, Mike can hear.
Yeah, Mike, can you still hear?
There, Mike?
Sorry, I had you muted, so I was talking. I'm good.
Okay.
All right, we're on to the second. David Atherton-Neely, do we have a motion? Okay, we're on to the third. Deanna Watkins, do we have a motion?
I move to nominate Deanna Watkins.
I'll second that.
You got a second?
Yeah, there was a second.
And we have a discussion.
Roll call.
Hang on, just have a minute.
Can I just get a verification? I just want to know who was named first.
Sean Packard was first?
No, that.
No.
Mr. Cole.
Who-
Ryan
sorry.
and George.
Brian and George, that's what I thought. I just want to make sure.
Jennings.
Yes.
Williams. Yes. Schultz.
Schultz?
Say again, Mike?
Yeah,
Thank you.
affirmative.
Preston.
Aye.
Neely's absent. Koval.
Aye.
I hadn't called his name yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Aye.
Yes,
Thank you.
please.
Okay. Holmes.
Yes.
Okay.
Seems everybody else is.
Yep. Okay. Past 6, and we don't have to go any further.
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
What happens now?
She,
No idea.
I will work
I
with her
do.
to get the appropriate affidavit of residency signed, and then you'll be sworn in at the May 13th meeting.
Okay, thank you.
And that's it.
Meeting adjourned.